Hi everyone, my name is Selena, co-founder of Bubble Lab. We build workflows that are TypeScript first with full observability and exportability. n8n just launched their agent builder, which is very exciting news for their team, but today we want to do something fun and put n8n and Bubble Lab to the test. We'll build the same workflow on both platforms, a simple calendar summary flow that reads upcoming events from my Google Calendar and sends me a summary email, and let's see which platform is able to build workflows better and more reliably. So here I have n8n open and I will launch their newest build mode, and let's put the simple prompt of read in my calendar, summarize all my events for the next 5 days, and send me a summary to my email. Okay, so this is the flow that got built on n8n. Immediately, that doesn't seem very correct. It's using an agent directly and using that to access the calendar instead of using a calendar node first. But let's set up the credentials first and see what happens. I'm going to quickly change the model to Gemini since I have that credential set up. And in my calendar, I will link it to my Google Calendar. Now let's hit execute. And as expected, that did not work. It actually didn't even reach the calendar at all. Now let's switch over to Bubble Studio and enter the exact same prompt. On Bubble Lab, through our workflow orchestration, we guarantee end-to-end type safety. What that means is that our agent gains extensive context on how to create the bubbles we've meticulously designed, including their full expected types during execution. This robust approach ensures the agent can reliably build flows that won't fail due to type mismatches. Here is the generated flow on Bubble Lab, and we can see that there's first a Google Calendar bubble, then an error handling resend bubble in case no events are detected, then a summary agent that summarizes all the events, and then finally a resend bubble to send the summary. Let's configure this quickly by entering our email that it should be sent to, as well as the Google Calendar credentials. Now we can run it, and as we run it, we'll see both the bubble and the code lighting up at whichever step it's on. And as expected, it reached the last step and sent an email where it summarized all my upcoming events from my Google Calendar. Maybe n8n had a bad run just now, so let's give it another try for robustness. So back into the n8n cloud version, let's re-enter the exact same prompt and retry again. Okay, so this time it gave something entirely different. It does look more on track, but this type of variability is something that would not happen on Bubble Lab because of the type checks that are happening in our background. Both on the TypeScript side, we have a set of lint rules that we've configured to ensure bubble flows are properly validated so that less errors will occur. We really wanted to ensure that users would not have to deal with undefined settings, invalid syntax, properties, or looking through annoying JSON schemas. Now that this flow is generated, let's configure the credentials and rerun. Immediately, there's something wrong with the calendar node, so let's take a look. I do really appreciate their AI assistant that they have on the side panel here, and it suggests that it's an error for the formatted date calculation expression, so let's replace that and rerun again. This time it is a different error in the email node, and oh, okay, I see. I forgot to configure it in the first node, which is my bad, but let's replace that with my email and rerun it again. And there's a different error in the email node. Let's use the AI assistant again to see exactly where the error is coming from, and it suggested a fix pointing to the issue that .trim is not a function. So I'll replace that, but this is exactly the type of error that should be caught before I execute a flow. And on Bubble Lab, we validate everything beforehand. So whether it's input errors or unexpected output types, it will show an error message and not even allow you to run a flow until that is fixed. Okay, so with some debugging, that finally worked. It's interesting how 2 emails went through, but it did manage to finally send the summary. Now let's go back to Bubble Studio and rerun the same workflow there for the second time. Okay, so as we can see, this generated basically the exact same workflow as the first time. And with our setup with Bubble Lab, the reliability is extremely high. So let's reconfigure everything and rerun. And as expected, we got another email with the same summary of our calendar. So if you're looking to build robust, reliable, agentic or non-agentic workflows, come check out Bubble Lab. We're fully open source very early in our journey and extremely open to feedback and contributions. Check out our website, try building your first workflow on app.bubblelab.ai, and join our Discord. See you guys next time.